Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is another Thursday, which means we are getting ready to run with scissors and have some fun with paper and ink. I'm so glad to see a whole bunch of you have already joined, and I'm really enjoying having that little countdown there ahead of time so you guys can pop into the chat and say hello, tell me where you're from. Of course, I see all of my Bloom friends out there. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you all joining me again today. If you are new to the channel and you might be a little lurker out there, go ahead and just pop in your name and say hi. Tell us where you're from. We're a really friendly group and we love to craft together. So it is the beginning of a new month. Can you believe it's already September? It's just crazy. I don't know where the time has gone, but here we are. It's September. We're hitting the end of the year already. And before you know it, we'll be talking about January and New Year's resolutions and all sorts of crazy things. But it all just goes too fast. Anyway, so here we are, and we're going to be working with a Stamp Focus stamp set this month. It's Concord and Ninth's Snail Mail, and it's such a cute little stamp set. And believe it or not, I'm not going to be using any other stamp sets for the projects this month, but they all look completely different. They do a lot of really cool things. They don't all have the snail in them. So there's lots of different ways that you can use this stamp set that are going to be really cool. So I'm going to pop over to some quick announcements. Now I love Snail Mail so much that I already picked my stamp set for next month. We're going to continue on with Concord and Ninth, and we're going to be using the Mail Drop stamp set. So we'll have Snail Mail and Mail Drop, and I'm thinking that they're probably going to work together. And there's lots of little fun things that you can do with the Mail Drop set. It's got a little bit of an interactive feature to it, so we're going to have some fun with interactive cards using the Mail Drop set. So I will show you that, and actually let me switch over to that real quick here, because here it is. So this is the Mail Drop stamp set. So it's got like a little post box and then like an empty post box, like the back side of it, maybe, if you want to say. It's got the little flag on it, little envelope, all sorts of little pieces, and then it's got some interactive bits so that you can actually pull the letter out of the post box, or you can even drop the post box down the front of it. Super fun. Tons of little cute things that we can do with this stamp set. So we're going to have some fun with interactive cards. And then you've got the dies that go along with it. So this is now available again on Concord and Ninth's website. So if you want to get ahead of the curve, you can go ahead and grab that. Where did I put? Oh, I put it in, I grabbed the link and then I don't think I used it anywhere. So let's pop back up to the announcements. Yeah, I didn't use it anywhere. Let me grab that again. Copy that link. And I'm going to paste it over in our chat, and then I'll put it down in the description afterwards. So there, if you want to grab that stamp set from Concord and Ninth, the stamp and dies are both available, so you can get them. And then, of course, they go really cute with our Snail Mail stamp set for this month. All right, so let's see, what else do we have going on? Let's see, Bloom is coming soon. If you are already on my wait list for Bloom and you've been on it for a while, you'll know that I did open the doors very briefly a couple weeks ago, and some of you jumped on it, and I'm so glad that you've joined us. So we've got a little group of people in the Bloom community now having fun and checking out all of the weekly topics and inspiration and just stuff to get you growing as a crafter and a card maker, mixed media. We talk about lots of different topics. So if it's something that even remotely piques your interest, I suggest you go over and take a look at it. Go to bloomcrafters.com and check out what I have to say there, and get on the wait list, because you never know when I might just open the doors for a quick flash sale to let a few more folks in. Or I am planning on opening it for a little bit longer towards the end of September. So you definitely want to be on the wait list so you can find out more about that. Let's see, what else? Crafty Sales. Oh my goodness. So if you're not in the United States, but you do shopping with United States companies like scrapbook.com or Concord and Ninth, all sorts of different companies. This weekend is Labor Day in the United States, so we have lots of sales going on. I do have my Crafty Sales page updated, and I'm updating information on there as I have it. So you can start getting ready for some weekend sales if you've been planning on purchasing some stuff for your craft stash. Now this weekend actually is a really great time to do it. So check out my Crafty Sales page, and I'll also be talking about that in my weekly newsletter. So go to NicoleWattCreates.com/subscribe and subscribe to that to make sure that you're getting all the updates from me every weekend. I talk about everything that I posted during the week, and sometimes I give you some updates on Bloom, sometimes I give you some updates on Crafty Sales. So that's just, it comes out once a week. That's all I do with my mailing list. So I'm not like taking over your inbox with all sorts of stuff, but it's all encapsulated in one email, which is really kind of nice. All right, last thing, of course, if you're out on Instagram and you've created a project that is inspired by today's project or any of our recent live streams, don't forget to tag me at Nicole Watt Creates. I like to grab those pictures, and sometimes I share them here live, which is a lot of fun. And then, of course, as always, the links down below are affiliate links. So if you do some crafty shopping and you click on one of those links, I might receive a small commission, always at no additional cost to you. And that really helps out to cover costs for doing all this free content on YouTube and on my blog. So thank you very much for using my affiliate links. All right, so let me pop down to Split Hands again. So of course, like I said earlier, this is the stamp set we're going to use next month. Super cute, interactive, lots of fun things are already coming to mind with this one. Very excited that this bundle is back together on Concord and Ninth, and you can grab that now. So this month, though, we are doing Snail Mail. And it's so cute. So big, bold words, cute little snail, lots of little bits and pieces here. This one is really cute because it's like a postage stamp. And then we have the coordinating dies that are postage stamps. So that's what we're actually going to use today. We're going to do kind of an Inchie with the dies that look like postage stamps. So you'll notice that there's this big square postage stamp die cut out, but we only have a rectangle. So I'm going to show you a very easy way to turn that into a square. And I think you guys are going to love that. This is a very clean and simple design. It's, I just love it because it doesn't take much. You can just do a little bit of stamping, a little bit of popping up. I think what really makes it is that all of these little pieces here are popped up. So it's all up on a foam adhesive, and it gives you lots of extra depth here in this little center section. So all of that white doesn't seem like it's too much, right? And we've got these really great pops of color, and then gray instead of black on the sentiment here. All right, so glad to see everybody popping in. All right, and Sue said she's done some of the 3D embossing folder techniques from last month, but she hasn't taken any pics yet. Yeah, so when you do, Sue, just tag me and we'll be good to go. All right, so let's get started on this one. It's actually not going to take too long for us to do. And actually, we're going to start with this guy. Yeah, Mary, your name just popped right out of my head. It is. It's so simple and pretty, very easy to do. Classic, clean and simple for sure. Okay, so today we're going to need this big rectangle die with the postage on it. And then we need the small postage stamp die and the heart die. All right, and then I've got 4 colors of cardstock. And these are going to coordinate with our 4 colors of ink. So we've got Buttercup, Oceanside, Grapefruit, and Parsley. And then we also have Mushroom. So if you did the stamp focus with us early in the year, you'll have quite a few of these. You'll have Peacock instead of Oceanside. So you could always swap that color out. And then I can't remember what 4 colors came. It was Oceanside, or it was Peacock and Grapefruit, and then there were 2 other colors. You could just use those 4 colors if you wanted to, and then supplement with a gray of your own, if that's what you have for Concord and Ninth. Of course, you can pick out any colors that are similar or any colors that you like that go well together. You could do monochromatic, you could do something that's like really high contrast, with some crazy complementary colors. You can do all sorts of different color combos with this. So, okay, let's talk about, we're going to get like right to the hard stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my high on here, just so I know that I've got it in place. All right, so I'm just going to pop it down in this lower corner here. That way when we use our die here to make this square, we've got plenty of space for it. You can do it either way. You can do the square first, the die cut, or you can do the stamping first. Either way will work just fine. Okay, so this is a really solid image. I mean, the letters are almost a 1/4 inch thick, so I'm using a conditioning eraser just to make this really nice and dull. You see how dull that is? That's really good for stamping. That's going to help your die ink sit on the stamp without bubbling up. All right. All right, we've got some new folks joining us today. Hello, so nice to see you. Crystal. She's out in Westminster, Colorado. I don't know where that is. I'll have to look it on the map later. Okay, so if you want, you may need to just stamp it twice to get a nice, good coverage on your impression. But using the stamp conditioner or just a nice white eraser will help you get pretty good coverage the first time. All right, so got my high on there. I love this color. It's a really nice shade of gray. It's actually a brown gray, but it's not, like, once it dries, it's really nice. Okay, so here we go. This is our rectangle. We're going to turn this into a square. Okay, so what I want to do is start up in the top here, and I want to frame out this die so that it's equidistant on the top. So the sides and the top are all pretty equally spaced. Okay, so this is going to be my first step. And I'll take some Post-it tape here and take this guy down. Right. Oh, well, Crystal, I'm on every Thursday. You just haven't been catching me. All right, so here we go. And I need these again because we're going to run this through a second time. Okay, so here is my first pass. And of course, that pulls out this guy right here. Now, this is a totally perfect piece of die cut cardstock now. So this goes into the scrap bin. It's got, you know, all these little beautiful perforations. It's got the nice little stamp edge. This goes into the scrap bin because we will use that for another project. Actually, we'll use it next week. Okay, so here is the trick. I want to turn this into a square. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and I'm going to fit it into the space here. All right. And I'm just going to fit it in like a puzzle piece until it gets in there. I'm going to take my Post-it tape and just mark the bottom there. And then over here, I'll do the same thing. So just nestle it into the corners there. I'm going to mark the corner, bottom again. Okay, now I'm going to turn this 90 degrees back to the way it was, and then fit it in until the bottom of this comes down to where I marked it with my Post-it tape. All right, so here's the thing. You're just going to make sure that you fit it in to the existing die cut. All right. And then, so if I brought it up to here, that's not going to get me a square because it hasn't come down far enough. So I know I need to come down one more little notch. And that's going to get me a square. So now I can lift these guys up. And bring this in place. And then if I flip it over, I can just double check and make sure that it's lining up. And it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and run this through my die cut machine again. So this is a great little trick for especially square and rectangle dies if you want to make them longer. So this piece, I don't know that I'll reuse it, but you never know. So yeah, now I can take this off and look, I have a square and it looks like a Polaroid. I love it. Yeah, so total craft hack. Yes, you could do this with your nesting postage dies. Absolutely. To make them larger like that. All right, so it's gorgeous, totally perfect. So actually we're done with this piece. So I've got my card base right here. All right, hope everyone had a good week. The days just float by so quickly here. Sometimes it's just amazing. All right, so I'm using some scrapbook.com double-sided adhesive. This is their 1-inch adhesive strips. And I don't know why I pulled this out. I guess I was thinking about the other little guys, but this is actually kind of, is this too wide? No, we can use this for later. But I am going to have to cut it in half for the rest. That's fine. Actually, it is too wide. Well, I'm going to put this one down here. And then I guess I'll cut this again. I forget. I must have used my Altenew because it's like 3/8 of an inch and this doesn't like to be cut again. So let's set this aside. We'll use this for the stamp pieces. Let me grab some other. Hopefully this is the same. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to use, oh my gosh, guys, indecisive. Right. Because this is just slightly smaller than what I want for the Altenew stuff even, so I'm going to use my 1/4 inch stuff from scrapbook.com. This way it ends up being the same depth. So I notice a lot of times that foam tape is not a universal thickness. So if you start mixing brands, sometimes they don't play well together. So this is the 1/4 inch from scrapbook.com. There we go. All right. Oh, and that sounds yucky. Cortisone shots in your hands. That sounds like carpal tunnel or arthritis, one of the two. All right, so I've got all of my foam on there. And there is going to be a border around here, so you just need to be careful. Getting it down there square. All right, so here we go. This is the beginnings of a really cute card. This could be a shaker card. Really great for shakers. Okay, but we're going to put in some postage stamps. So let's stamp it up. Okay. We're going to use this cute little stamp right here. And then we're going to use the die that goes along with it. I'm actually just going to freehand it. Okay, so when I put them on my block, either I'm using a stamp conditioner to, even with this, even with all those little lines, I'm going to use a stamp conditioner, or I'm going to use my hand just to get some of that tackiness off of there and make this a nice matte finish. So when I'm stamping, I get really good impression, especially if I'm not going to use a stamp positioning tool. I only get to do this once, right? All right, so we're going to start with Buttercup, and I need to leave enough space that I can get the die around it. All right. So you will need a piece that's a little bigger than you might think, because the die is going to add on a little bit. See, when you put the die around here, that's going to add on a lot of extra. So you need to leave plenty of space. Okay, so this is Parsley. Lovely, lovely color. All right, and then you just need to make sure that you're cleaning your stamp off every time. Then we got some grapefruit. So like I said, you can do these in any color. If you know who it's going to be sent to, then you can maybe pick out someone's favorite colors. Okay, so hopefully I've got enough room in between all of those. This last one was in Oceanside. Okay, so we're done with our stamping now. We're going to run down to the last two things. So we need to die cut these guys, both the hearts and these little postage stamps here. So I'm going to just use my mini blossom because it's easier than me running back and forth to the electric machine. Okay, so I will. We have to run it through 4 times anyway, so we're going to do both at the same time. So I'll get this nice and lined up. This little stamp image fits right in the center. Like so. So I'll do that. And I will put our little heart there. If you want, you can put it down with a piece of Post-it tape. You don't have to. And then we'll run this through. So isn't that adorable? A little postage stamp. So cute. All right. So I'll line this up again. And then pop out my heart here. So sometimes it's good to save these little scraps because they come in really handy for cutting small little bits for projects just like this one. All right, so another postage stamp. And we'll line up our third one. So I love this card because, as you can see, it does not take very long to put it together, but it's so cute. Just the clean, simple lines of it. With it well executed, it just looks nice and crisp and clean, and anyone would love to get it. But it doesn't have to take you long to do. All right, so there. Last one coming up. Yeah, normally I would have music on for sure. Okie doke. So, there we go. One, two, three. I'm missing. Oh, there it is. 4. Okay. So these are, oh, I get to use this cool new tool that I just got. It's not new, it's just new to me. This is the Marvie Jewel Picker. And I've been looking for one. I've had this one here, this Pick Me Up tool by Silhouette, like forever. And I hate it. I really don't like it. But I'm always like, oh, I should get one of those little jewel picker things, like a Studio Katsuo one or whatever. I just happened to be placing an order with a cherry on top, and they carry these. And I said, oh, I'm going to give this one a try. All right, so it's got 2 ends, a small end and a larger tip, and they're both tacky. And so you're just going to, see, pick it up like that. It's super nice. And then I can put my glue on there. Let me not be so crazy about this. Okay, so yeah, see, I just love the way that it sticks on there. And then it's going to fit right in the heart shape. So cute. Just like that. So using liquid glue, of course, you always have a minute to just kind of shift it if you need to. All right, so we will use this again. And you can mix and match your hearts too. If you wanted to do like a little color mix up, that would be kind of cute. I just kind of like them all together, same color. Yeah, I wondered if it might not fall apart or lose its stickiness after a while. So we'll see how long it lasts. And you know, I could do this with just my fingers or with a pair of tweezers even. But I like that I can get right over the top of it, because then you feel like you can see it a little better. Yeah, Becca. That, you know, and I've had that blue one forever, the one from Silhouette. I don't know why. Like, I pull it out every once in a while and I try it, like, thinking maybe it'll work this time, and it never does. So it just makes a tacky mess every time. All right, so there we go. Don't need any more of that. I'm done with our little marvelous Marvie tool. Okay, so now I need to give you some hints, some tips and tricks on this here. Okay, so we're going to use this leftover foam, if I can find my scissors. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put foam adhesive on the back of all of these. But I'm not going to take the backing off of it. Not yet, at least. Yeah, Crystal, so that's the one that I've thought of getting. That's the one from Studio Katsuo, right? The Crystal Katana. I thought about getting that one too. So now I might have to, just to see, like, do a comparison. Okay, so I've got all 4 of these guys have foam on the back, and I want to make sure that I get them spaced evenly. So there's kind of a trick to doing that. And I'll zoom you in just a little bit so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to use, this is something, you can get this at scrapbook.com. You can also get it from Concord and 9th, because you use it with your turnabouts. This is just a temporary adhesive. So I just have a little bit on the backing here. Stick. All right. And what I'm going to do is place them all down. Ooh, actually, I need to, for some reason, this, there we go. There, I wanted that to lay flat. Okay, so I'm going to lay these down. Now, if for some reason, if you've got like a glossy backing on your foam tape and it's not sticking, then you can just kind of lay them in place and get them aligned. So let's do a couple of them like that. All right. I like that if you can to have them stick. So that way you can really make sure that they're all in place. And then you can lift them, etc. All right, so these guys are all there. Okay, so once you've got it, then go ahead and just lift up one, take off your backing, and then carefully get it back in place so that way it is staying aligned with everything else. There we go. Right, and then just work your way around. So actually, if you have something like this, let me just show you. This happens to be like a sticky tack kind of stuff in here. This would be a great use for this. So if this isn't sticking because it doesn't have, this is glossy tape on the back. So I could try to use some of this as well, which actually it's not sticking to either. So just a couple of different things that you can try to get it to stick down. I don't remember what tape I used last time that it didn't do that. Probably the Ultinew. It doesn't have a glossy backing on it. Either way, I'm getting these guys to sit on here properly. I have some other sticky tack I bet would probably work. Because once you put it down with your foam adhesive, you're really not going to get it to come back up. All right, but that's it. So now I've got even lines in here because I made sure that I had everything spaced out really nice. I love that using this one to make the outline, that there was enough space around the edges that I didn't have to make it any bigger. Just by using this twice allowed me to get a really nice opening for 4 of these postage stamps, whether they intended it that way or not. And I think they did, because you could fit 2 in here pretty nice. So fitting 4 in there is even better. And there you go. Super simple, done. And wow, I think this is a new record for having completed a project with running with scissors so quickly, which is kind of awesome, guys. You know, not every project has to take hours on end to give you a really good result and be something fun that you would just love to pop into the mail. So there you go, guys. A real quick kill for the beginning of the month. I hope you guys love this card, because I know I do. So hey, whew, in and out. Was I talking fast? Did we just, it's just because it was clean. Clean and simple. The simple being the key there. All right. Let's see, what kind of questions might we have? Any questions, any comments? What else is going on with the group today? Not much. Awesome. All right, guys. Hey, super, super cute card. I feel kind of at a loss because we're never done this quick. The rest of our projects this month are super cool. Like I said, we're going to be using just the stamp set. So this Stamp and Die set, if you haven't got your hands on it yet, if you love today's project, then you are going to love the rest of them. I am just using this stamp set exclusively. No other stamps will be used this month. We will be doing some, we'll be going into the recycle bin, and we'll be going into our scraps pile to pull out some stuff to create one of our projects. So I think you guys will enjoy that one too. Because, you know, we do backgrounds a lot, and that's always a fun thing to do, is to pull out some backgrounds and create with those as well. Okay, so we do have a couple questions. So Nancy's asking, we've got 5 Thursdays this month, so we are not going to meet on the 30th. I always like to take that 5th week off to rest, recuperate, and replan. So it's always a good good opportunity for me to take a little breather. So no, we won't be meeting on the 30th. So we will still have 4 projects this month, but not a 5th. Becca asked me to do the inside, and I'm gonna have to pass on that one. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't. Let's pull out. Let's see. So I think Concord and Ninth really does a lot of great sentiments. And there's lots of different things that you could put inside. So there's lots of big sentiments that they do. This one is called Simply Said. And I could put, I've been thinking of you inside of there, or I could totally go for some you right now. Either way, I think those would work really well. So if you're going to do the inside of a card and you're going to stamp on it, Becca, I know you didn't mean to have this happen, but it's going to. So if you're going to stamp on the inside of your card, I would always recommend that you use a stamp positioner. And I am going to pull out my new precision press for this, because with the door on the MISTI, there's not really a great way for you to get a finished card in here. And even with the original MISTI that's larger, it's still not large enough to fit that whole bit of cardstock in there without having to like fold it in half and do things that you don't want to do. So the precision press, I think, is a really great option for this. So let's do this one here. All right, and so the reason why I say that is because we can take our card. So this one I have opening from, it's got a top fold. So what I'm going to do is place this in my press so that the end of the card can stick out. All right, so I did create this piece of silicone in here. This is not what it comes with, but I do like having a piece of something in here that's a little more soft, so that way it's I get a good stamping impression. Okay, so the reason why I really want to do this is because, 1, I may have to stamp it more than once. 2, I really wanted to make sure that I'm getting my stamp centered on here, and by using a stamp positioning tool, you can get that to happen. Okay, so this has never been used before. This stamp has never been used before. Okay, so people want to know, how exciting? Becca says yes. Right. And do I like it? So Anne, I keep coming back to my MISTI, but for instances like this, I totally think that this is the way to go. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, I'm zoomed in. I'm zoomed in as far as I can go. That's, oh no, I knew I could come in closer. Okay, so look, you've got the lines on the top here, but I haven't even picked it up yet. So that's a good thing, because now what I can do is if I get my head over the top of it, I can see if I think that it's level going across, or if I need to make any adjustments without it even really picking up on the lid here. All right, so let's put this down here. Take a look at it again. Okay, I think that looks good. Now I'm going to press it, and it's going to stick to my lid. So I like to just make sure that it's stuck on there really good. Of course, like I said, this is the first time on this one, so I'm going to do some cleaning. You could do a lot of fun techniques with this too. Like if you wanted to, you could do some like blending on here to like do ombre with your colors. So I think I'm just going to do it in mushroom though. Okay, so I've got that done up with my conditioner here. All right. Okay, so that's ready to go. All right, that's gonna look great on there. So I'm gonna take my mushroom here. I would probably normally ink this off to the side, but I'm limited on space here. Okay, so, all right. So even though I've put this down, it hasn't even left anything on the paper yet because it's got these little nubs on here that keep it raised up. All right, and then you just press. And like with the MISTI, I do run my hand across the whole thing. And there we go. So I didn't get the edge. I'm using different magnets, and I think this magnet at the bottom here is a little thicker. Yeah, which is the problem that I was having. Okay, so if I need to re-ink, I can do that again. Oh no, how is your MISTI warped? That sounds crazy. So just press down. And it's beautiful. So yeah, Becca had a great idea. Like if you wanted to, you could die cut another heart and add that in there. Actually, I've got a little bit extra here. So we're done with this. So there you go, precision press. It works. And it's a nice little tool. So even if you have a MISTI, having a precision press is really nice for those times when you need to get into an area where you couldn't with a MISTI. Yeah, and it was pretty easy to line up again. So what I would say is a little different about the precision press is that like you don't have creative corners or anything like that to make it, to get it back in perfect alignment. So if I had taken this out, I don't know how I would have realigned everything. I just haven't experimented with it yet enough to know. So it's bowed in the center so it rocks from side to side. Oh, yuck. That's terrible. I'm so sorry that happened to your MISTI. So Mary has a different platform. It's called the Sunlit Stamp platform that uses magnets instead of pegs to align things. That sounds really interesting. So we could do that. I don't normally do insides of my cards, but there you go. Yeah, so if I really wanted to make sure of realignment, I would have had to, yeah, definitely do something more like tucking the card into the corner. So you would bring it all the way into the corner and tuck it up against the pegs. And that would help make sure you got good alignment. But even at that, I don't know that I would trust that as much as I trust the MISTI being a hard corner. Becca says it lines up well, so give it a try. There you go. So now we have card with an inside too. So this stamp set, like I said, super cute, great for both outside and inside sentiments. It's called Simply Said, and it's got all sorts of good sentiments. Way to go, seriously perfect, you inspire me. Super great stamp set. All right, guys, here we go. One down, 4 to go. I have a feeling this month is going to fly by, but we'll have fun doing it. Okay, so I will be here next week for you guys. And we will continue on our journey with Concord and Ninth. Like I said, we've got our stamp set lined up for next month as well. I will pop some more information down in the description for you guys if you didn't catch it. Today's supplies are all linked in the comments at the pinned comment and down below in the description. So glad to have you guys here today. Here we go. September is off and running. And see you guys soon for more Running with Scissors. Until next time, happy crafting, guys.